I just reviewed the original Planet of the Apes. Now, let's talk about the sequels and reboots. I'm going to run through them rather quickly, just given my own opinions. I don't give ratings very often, but I think here it's necessary, just so you can see how these movies compare for me personally. I'll rank them 1 to 5 apes. And keep in mind, this is just how I rank them on the ape scale in comparison with the rest of the series, not in comparison to other films in general. First of all, the original Planet of the Apes. A masterpiece. This is the only one I give 5 apes. It's exceptional. Beneath the Planet of the Apes. It's hard going from such a great movie to this. For me personally, this one suffers the most. It's just bizarre. Another astronaut named Brent arrives in search of Taylor, but earlier Taylor disappeared, quite literally, into a rocky cliff. Nova witnessed it and helps Brent try to find him. They go underground and find a civilization of humans who speak telepathically and peel off their faces, revealing themselves to be mutants, as they worship a nuclear bomb. It's weird, man. I never knew what to make of this one. The only thing I like about it is that they show you more of the remains of New York City. I like dystopian stuff, you could tell. But the plot and its message is very confusing. It's also hilarious how Charlton Heston reluctantly appears briefly because he hated the idea of a sequel, and sorry if it's a spoiler, cover your ears, he actually pushes the button that blows up the planet, nuking any possible chance of another sequel. How often do you see an actor who's able to say, no more of this shit, boom, there? It may be harsh, but I don't see much in this film. I only give it 1 ape. Escape from the Planet of the Apes. This one did the impossible. It took a nuclear bomb of a sequel, not a financial bomb, and found a way to continue it. Just before the planet explodes, Zira and Cornelius escape through a time portal and appear in present-day Earth. Society accepts them, and they end up becoming celebrities. But with fame brings good and bad. There's a lot of comedy and also a lot of drama. Most of the conflict involves their newborn son, and it sets up a new line of sequels continuing from the current time period. So are they prequels or C-prequels or what? This one is surprisingly really good. I give it 4 apes. Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. The ape child Caesar is now grown up. There's now a race of intelligent apes mistreated by the humans, and Caesar leads them to rebellion. This one has a very heavy focus on real-life race conflicts. It's very dark in tone, very serious, and Roddy McDowall plays Caesar. He was also the father, Cornelius, so it's the only actor I can think of to play father and son, and he does a really good job. I give this one 3 apes. Battle for the Planet of the Apes. This one is usually considered pretty stale, and while I don't disagree, it was at least a necessary step in the series to bring it full circle with the original. Now we're in the post-war phase, and it's all about trying to find peace between the humans and the apes. The ending is kind of ambiguous, so we're unsure if humanity will repeat the same steps. I give it 2 apes. There was also a live-action TV series and an animated TV series, but with all the films to watch, these have gone under my radar for a while. I'll have to catch up with them another time. For now, I'm only talking about the movie series. Next up, Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, 2001. This is the first time I ever heard the term reimagining. They were dismissing it as a remake. It was a reimagining instead. And this is coming from Tim Burton, who once said that Batman Returns wasn't really a sequel to Batman, even though he references Vicky Vale. It says Returns. It's definitely a sequel, but anyway, it's a remake as far as I'm concerned, because remakes are usually different from the originals anyway, so this didn't strike me as being any more imaginative than any of the other lackluster remakes out there. The makeup and effects are great, but it doesn't amount to anything. It leaves me with an empty feeling. The ending, lots of people hate, but I felt indifferent about it. It's similar to the ending in the original book, but nothing competes with the original film's ending. Overall, I just found this movie unnecessary. We didn't need a remake of Planet of the Apes. There's nothing significant about it. I saw it in the theater and then forgot about it. I don't think it's that bad, but on the ape scale, it's so unnecessary, I give it 1 ape. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Wow, they did it. They found a way to bring the Ape series back from the dead again. This time it's sort of a remake of Conquest since it stars the ape Caesar, although everything's different, so the only way left to define it is as a reboot, and a damn good one. It tells a different part of the story that we don't know. It reinvents, but it also retains the heart of the original series when it was at its best, aside from the original. James Franco plays a scientist who's investigating a cure for Alzheimer's. He tests on a chimpanzee, Caesar, who becomes intelligent. He raises Caesar in private, but he ends up having to get placed in a primate shelter where he's treated badly. He leads the other apes to revolt, and it all leads up to a spectacular action scene on the Golden Gate Bridge. The action is amazing, and it helps because you care about what's going on. I felt the friendship between the James Franco character and Caesar was very genuine. The facial expressions on the apes are all great, especially Caesar, who's portrayed by the master of motion capture, Andy Serkis. Overall, I was very invested in it, and I think this may be the best one since the original, 4 Apes. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This is a follow-up to Rise. Now Caesar and his fellow apes are growing in population while the human population is shrinking. The apes and humans don't mingle, they stay separate from each other and regard each other as the enemy. A group of humans are trying to gain access to a generator to supply power to their city, but the problem is it lies in the apes' territory. Caesar, having been raised by humans, is the only chance at bringing peace to these two races, but he's confronted by a scarred ape who has a strong hate for humans. I like the dystopian setting. I'm always a sucker for that. I like that the apes are very expressive. You can always tell what they're thinking, and there's certain scenes where it's only apes. All around, it's really well done. I don't like it quite as much as Rise, but on the ape scale, it's still deserving of 4 Apes. It's pretty exciting to see this series still going strong, especially when it seemed like it was all said and done. I'm looking forward to War for the Planet of the Apes, and once I see it, I'll let you know what I think.